Death! I doubt there is anything I could say that would invoke as many feelings or stir up as many memories as that single word. And for good reason. Death is an inescapable truth, something you can never come back from. Or can you? There are those who, when faced with death, experience something that cannot entirely be put into words. We call these near-death experiences, or NDEs. There is not a single person in this group who has not experienced loss in their lifetimes. Questions about the nature of death are as ancient as mankind itself. The idea that some have come to the brink of the next world and then return to tell the tale may be comforting to some and disturbing to others. We first must ask the most obvious question. What is a near-death experience? A near-death experience is a seemingly supernatural event that occurs when somebody is in a life-threatening situation. There are stories of NDEs being caused by heart attacks, drug overdose, car crashes, and even ones that occur on the battlefield in a time of war. Advances in medical science have made it possible to bring many people back from the brink of death. Even a stopped heart and dying brain can be restarted. These advances have given an incredible jump in the number of reported NDEs. Although there is a great amount of variation in near-death experiences and what they involve, research indicates that many of them share almost frighteningly similar elements. Most near-death experiences start with an out-of-body experience. An individual is seemingly floating outside of their own body, either directly above it or somewhere nearby. This out-of-body experience often ends with passing through a tunnel of light. Experiencers report feeling like they are traveling at great speed. After passing through this tunnel, individuals will sometimes encounter other beings. According to research, seeing deceased relatives or religious figures is the most common type of encounter. This lends support to the theory that NDEs really are caused by people passing into death. One of the more mysterious and unique parts of a typical NDE is life review, in which a person is made to witness a quick overview of their own life. These are noteworthy because in many life reviews, individuals claim that they become aware of how other people were feeling, and that they can in fact feel the emotions of others during their own lives. At a time following this life review, people experiencing the NDE will often come to a barrier or some other kind of boundary. Often this boundary is associated with the point beyond which you cannot return. At this point during the experience, the individual either chooses to return or is made to return to their body. Yes, it is true that these experiences seem to be overwhelming and mysterious. It doesn't help that people report that these experiences don't seem at all dreamlike or hazy. On the contrary, many people who experience an NDE will say that the experience seems more real than everyday life. This kind of hyper-realism can also make it difficult to accurately describe the experience. Because of the obvious difficulty in studying a phenomenon that only occurs when someone is faced with a life-threatening event, legitimate and thorough research on NDEs is difficult to conduct, and anecdotal evidence is the only real thing left to study. Now that we have established what an NDE is, we must come to the next question. What causes an NDE? The simple answer is that nobody knows what causes an NDE. There are several theories, and none of them are provable. The first and perhaps most obvious theory is that an NDE occurs when somebody's soul leaves their body when it comes close to death, but then returns. Obviously, it is impossible to test this theory, and it raises many questions of its own. Another theory is that when the brain is dying because of lack of oxygen, it begins to enter a hallucinatory state. This theory is difficult to confirm because not everybody has an NDE, and it doesn't help explain some elements at all. Similarly, it has been proposed that NDEs are the result of chemical disruptions in the brain that are caused by trauma. Although this theory stands up better than the lack of oxygen theory, it too is difficult to test or confirm. And there are even those who suggest that many who claim to have NDEs are simply making up stories and that the phenomenon isn't even real at all. The truth is that nobody knows what NDEs are, what causes them, or why they occur in some people but not in others. Truthfully, we are no closer now to understanding death than we were 1,000 years ago. But by studying NDEs, maybe we'll get closer to the truth. I hope you have all enjoyed my presentation today. If you would like more information on NDEs, or if you or somebody you know has had an NDE, I encourage you to go to www.nderf.org and read about the phenomenon. You can read the experiences of others or even submit your own. Thank you, and have a nice day.